What's going on, y'all? I'm trying to make this quick because, How to Get Away with Murder is on. I had to watch this before, How to Get Away with Murder. And I just got to watch that before I go to bed. This time change, I'm going to be honest. No shade to Braxton Family Values, but they might as well, let me turn this off. They might as well, since everything coming on ABC7 around the same time or at the same time, they need to just put Braxton Family Values. They already pushed it back an hour because Scandal was came on tonight. How to Get Away with Murder comes on at the same time with Braxton Family Values. Baby, they need to just put Braxton Family Values back on Tuesdays like they had it originally, because this is conflicting. Okay, it's conflicted with my spirit. I shouldn't have to debate. Damn, which one should I? Fuck, but I gotta record. But then I do the review. But then, I can just, let me just go ahead and watch this shit so I can get out the way. I don't want to have to do that, okay? But, that's what I had to do today. But anyway, it is what it is. It was a cute episode, I guess. This really didn't have much to it, okay? They had that little fallout at the little summer party. They got a little out of hand, because they was all drunk. And people got into their feelings. And then, Mama Braxton comes over to Tracy and to Wanda and Trina's little rental house and fix them breakfast and I'm gonna tell them you gotta sing for your breakfast. And I was like, what? What the fuck? But it was cute because they actually sang and it actually sounded good. Now, speaking of singing and speaking of some people, look, Tracy don't follow me on Twitter. She got me blocked. Well, let me shut up because I'm about to say something else. Tracy got me blocked on Twitter, and we've been blocked for like 2 seasons now. I don't know what the fuck for. I never said it did anything negative to her. They get into their feelings all the goddamn time. So, hey, it is what the fuck it is. But, with that being said, let me proceed to go in on this. Tracy was performing out there last week, I think. Yeah, on the 18th. In Howard University. With Mary's Erica Campbell and SWV. It was like this WeTV event thing for charity, some type of charity, like I think for a sickness or some shit. I forget. But either way, y'all know Tracy got an album coming out. She got the single out. What is it called? Last Call. She got the album coming out October 7th. Crash and Burn. You see how I'm putting it out there so y'all can know, and I'm kind of promoting her stuff before I proceed to go in. Let me just tell you this. Where the fuck was Tony and where the fuck was Tamar? Where was you could have any, mini, mighty, mold up 2 of those. At least get Tony, whatever. Y'all need to stop letting y'all sister go out there looking a hot ass, plum ass fool. Okay? That's what the fuck she looked like. No fucking shade, and I'm not trying to be mean, and I'm not, I'm just putting it out there. Because you really embarrass yourself. You try to come out as a new artist or whatever, and I don't know if you really trying to make people, take you seriously. But after looking at that performance, and I know this is like the first time you doing this on your own or whatever, you trying to get in the groove or whatever, you need to start at smaller, very much smaller venues than this. All right? They're trying to be sexy and girl, you just gotta look at it's on my site. The website is in the description box, bitch. It's on there. You just gotta. I was just confused by the whole thing. That it was like she was doing too much. Like, I know you're trying to be sexy or whatever, trying to, she did a little lap dance or whatever for Kevin. I said, no, ma'am. No, ma'am. And baby was lip syncing. And when I say lip syncing, she was lip syncing. And I was just like, it was just so embarrassing. So I couldn't even, I'm sitting here watching it like this. Peeping through my fingers like, oh my God. And that was only a 2-minute clip. If that was it, imagine how the other stuff went. It was just it was ridiculous. It was just karaoke. She is not ready to be out there performing live yet. She needs to go and practice. She needs to get all that together. She needs to get some tips from Tony. Sometimes you gotta just suck up your pride and ask. It does not hurt to ask questions. Can you help me with this? Because your stage presence is not there. You're doing too much. That hair, that fucking red shit gotta fucking go. Okay? I'm just I was just so disappointed. But then again, I didn't expect much in the first place. I just didn't want her to perform live anyway because I kind of knew it was going to go this way. But because, you know, you're going to have people that's just be sitting back waiting to just go in and say some shit. And I ain't trying to say this to be hurtful, but I'm saying don't put her out there. Her people ain't really her people to put her out there. And Kevin, you ain't shit either because you knew your wife wasn't ready. You just wanted to get fucked that night. That's all it is. So you said, baby, I'm going to let you go ahead and do this. And I'm going to let you get it off on me so, you know, we can go bang that night. That's all that boiled down to. Because ain't no way in hell I'm going to let my sister or my spouse go out on the stage looking a plumb fool, knowing damn well they are not ready. They are not prepared. And baby was not prepared. Okay? She got room for improvement. I ain't going to say she was completely disastrous, but she needs some improvement. And I'm pretty sure, you know, give her a few more practice, give her a few more vocal lessons, and Tracy will get there. And just be her and stop trying to be whoever the fuck she's trying to emulate with all this sexy stuff and whatever you trying to do, because it's not you. No shade. But that's all I'm going to say because I spent a little bit too much on her. But, They just told me to move the fuck on. All right. Just found out something. God damn. Okay, but anyway, what was I talking about? So the girls meets up to get their nails done. They talking about, you know, they trying to see if everything is cool because, you know, the last night got out of hand. And, you know, Trina, like, she's still kind of fuzzy about what happened. But basically, while they going to get their nails done, they come to the conclusion that, hey, we're not going to be able to do no album. We can't come together to do no album, not no full album, not even a goddamn EP. What we're going to do is a single. Now, the main thing is who going to break the news to Mama, Miss Evelyn, okay? Because Miss Evelyn had her heart set on doing that album. Like, she was going to get 3 songs on there herself that she was going to be like, praise Jesus, hallelujah. That's what she thought she was going to be on there doing. And you know, that's not going to happen. So, I guess they left it up to Tamar to go ahead and, you know, tell her. Later, Tamar, I think she's in Atlanta, and she's looking for dancers. The female dancers. She get the group, break them up into, like, I think 4 groups. Group 1 was fine. Group 2, she was like, stop. You bitches ain't y'all ain't doing it right. You know, do it like you really want this shit. She got them together a little bit, and they got out there and tried to do what they tried to do. And, you know, the other people came in. This was sitting there. When they first came up in there, this lit the fuck. I said, oh, okay. You know, it was cute. But she got her dancers and all that stuff. Another scene with Tamar, she's meeting with this designer, Octavius or whatever, to do some shit with the tour, the clothes and all that stuff. I don't think that she used that because the shit that he was showing, I was like, I don't remember seeing that at neither one of the shows that I went to, because the guys was in all white at the beginning. Literally looked like they went to H&M and got a pair of white pants and a white blouse and put that on. And then they probably had the black pants. That's probably the only ones that they really put on. But other than that, I ain't see what he showed them in the show if they really kept up with him. But who gives a fuck? Trina got Gabe still over at the house. Okay. Tracy and Tawanda is like, this nigga has to go. He has to go. At one point, they come back to the house. It's people all in the back lawn, feet all up in the you know, I was about to cuss the girl out that had her feet all up in the water and all that stuff. But then when she came in there, my opinion of her changed, and I will tell you why in a minute, but y'all probably already know. Y'all know what my mind already went to, but we'll get there. Tracy and Tawanda like, bitch, who the fuck are all these people here? Trina like, you remember, this is the bar chicks. I need to get some male and some more female another female bartender and a couple of bar boys. And she was like, for what? Because I'm finna throw this party. Remember we throwing this party, this housewarming party and all that stuff? And I'm still sitting here like, unless somebody is sponsoring this and giving you this liquor and all this stuff, and WeTV is doing this for you for free, I don't understand what's the point of this housewarming party. Quit calling it a housewarming party for a shit that you're not really gonna be there long enough for. Like, what? The fuck? What? Y'all ain't finna do shit. Like Tawanda said, we ain't come out here for this. And then, you know, they interviewing the people because Trina was like, remember when I told you, but this is my house. It did. Tawanda was like, but bitch, we live here too. Okay? We didn't approve this. You didn't get an unanimous vote saying that, yeah, you can throw this shit. You probably threw the idea out there, but ain't nobody say, yeah, let's throw this party. But, you know, they interviewing the bartenders and all that stuff. And then the first girl, Gabe was like, so you might have to dress a certain way. She was like, what? Dress sexy? Show a little skin? Be topless? I said, she gotta go. She a little bit too free for that. And you know, you and Gabe, y'all trying to work on y'all shit and y'all know y'all got problems, but let her go. The other two boys looking like Abercrombie and Fitch models and all that stuff. I said, okay, whatever. Then the girl Tamara, that's her name. That was the one in the pool with the feet all up in the pool. I said, damn, did you at least ask? And I was about to low-key get pissed off at her like, girl, that's some ghetto shit. Like, ugh. Okay, how did you know that pool was clean and then you just put your feet up in there? You ain't ask questions or whatever. But then, when she came in there, she was doing the drinks. Mama turned around to the side and had a side profile, and all I saw was that ass. And I said, you're forgiven. That's all it was. And hey, it does that sometimes. Okay, fuck it. You know, a nice ass will change your opinion about a lot of stuff. I'm just saying, because I was really about to curse her out until she turned. I said, fine. I see your future. It's right behind your ass. Anyway, so they getting ready for this damn party. Well, Trina getting ready for the party, and she's upset at the fact that Tracy and Tawanda's not helping. And they like, bitch, this your shit. This is what I'm thinking the whole time. This is your shit. So why are you upset or feeling some type of way? Because I'm sitting here like, did they both all agree to have this party? Or was it Trina that really said that she wanted to have the party and then have the bar chicks up in there, you know, hosting and doing all that stuff? And, you know, so she all in her feelings over that. And I'm like, well, if I was with Tawanda this whole damn episode, like, bitch, if I didn't, you wanted to do this shit, so therefore you put this shit together. Fuck it, bitch, I'm gonna just get dressed and show up and give me a drink and go back to sleep, bitch. That's what I'm gonna do, you know? Before that, Trina and fucking Gabe, they tried it this episode. They was in their room, Tracy and Tawanda sitting on that couch, and all of a sudden you hear Trina getting in the mood and about to. I was like, no. And they was like, bitch, do you hear this shit? I was like, yeah, tell that bitch to shut the fuck up. He got to go. And I'm sitting here the whole time like, so Trina, you couldn't take your mic off? Or you couldn't turn the pack off? Alma, turn the pack on like on Sister Act. Bitch, look. I was like, I was not here for that shit. I said, oh my God, they about to get it in. Or y'all doing this shit for the cameras or whatever. And then they come out there. And she was like, in her feelings because they told her, bitch, Gabe gotta go. And I was like, well, my family out here, and you know, if your husband would have came out here, yada, 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 he would have stayed. And Tracy was like, my husband's out here for a day, and then he's gonna leave. That's what he's gonna do. Gabe, your ass came out here unannounced, and we let that shit slide. But bitch, you stayed here over 8 days. Your welcoming, it lasted too long. Okay, you outstayed your welcome, and it's time for you to go. And so he basically left the day after the party or whatever. When they get to the party, the theatrics that went on at this party, the party was lame as shit, and I knew it was gonna be lame as fuck when I saw the dude profile with the hat on, and he had them playing cards up in his hat, and I said, did they get a fucking musician? What kids are there? Okay, the only place that should have a fucking musician is, did I say musician? Girl, the trick shit. My mouth is just running and I'm just, whatever. You should have that at the goddamn kids party. He up there putting shit around Tawanda's neck, didn't want to put the sword through it. The sword getting fucking caught up in there because basically it's gonna go in and then it's gonna curve and come out the back. That's how they do it to make it seem like I look at shit. That's how they do it to make it seem like it's going through. It's really curving and it's going through the back, or it's something in there that is pushing and going through the back and then it's coming back out like it's not that hard. It's not that simple. But here go Tamar. No, I can't. Why would you do that? I was sitting here like, bitch, if you don't shut the fuck up with all these theatrics. It was just too fucking much. And I ain't saying that to be mean or whatever, but I'm just sitting here like, girl, calm it down. It wasn't that serious. It was like she was trying to make that shit about her. That's what it felt like. And then she left. I was like, girl, if you ain't want to come, you ain't even have to show up. Just say that. Because I don't go where I don't want to go. I'm just saying. But, yeah. At the end of the episode, they all meet up at the house. And, they want to tell Mama Braxton that they're not doing an album, they're going to do a single. So, Tamar finally told her. You could tell she was in her feelings because, like I said, she wanted to be on that album. You couldn't tell me no different. But she was more disappointed at the fact that they couldn't get it together enough to actually, put forth the effort to become cool with each other to actually do an album, but yet, they want to argue and all that stuff and then play around, but you can't come together and do an album and all that stuff. But she said at least they gonna do a single. Pish, push, posh. That was the episode. Y'all tell me how y'all feel about it. I'm finna go look at How to Get Away with Murder, and I will see you guys later. Peace.